In today's recap, we're going to talk about two very clear examples on why you don't use a hard stop, something that I've definitely been working on. Stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new, consider subscribing. My name is Migs. This is Market Open Recap, where I do recaps every single day that I trade. This morning, as you can see, I was basically flat. I was down 17 bucks plus commissions. I didn't really take that many shares or trades. Actually, I'd go back on the trades. I took a few on Boot and a few on MU. I think I took about 5 or so. But we'll go over those right now. The first trade I took this morning, if you guys are in the Facebook group, you guys will notice I talked about Boot yesterday. But it got stuck this morning for sure. Let's see here. Let me zoom out. I'll show you guys what I saw right here. So I actually ended up taking Boot on the 1 minute chart here at first. So right here, just a regular ORB pattern. So right here, anything over 25.90. Stop was actually going to be up here at 25.50. So that's why I ended up taking, it was 40, basically a 40-cent stop, and then 40 cents if you're risking $100 is 250 shares. If you're risking 100 is 250 shares. If you're risking $200, it's 500 shares. So I went ahead and took 500 shares. I got filled a little late here, so 26. And as you can see, the very next candle came down very quickly. But now, this is the first example. I did not have a hard stop on this. So my stop was down here at 25.50. I noticed that it just tanked. I left the order completely open, and it tanked. And as it was coming back up, I got out of my position, actually saving me about 10 cents on that. So the very next candle, you'll see it actually came all the way back up. I could have stayed in a little longer, but I went ahead and just got out of the position because it was not supposed to do that. So I just took my loss on that. So I lost a little bit under $200. Actually, no, probably around $200 since I got a bad fill on that. So so I lost on that. If you guys don't know what this pattern is, this is not the textbook ORB pattern, but it is very similar. So this candle is supposed to be very long, and then this one's supposed to be 30 to 50% and not go over the highs. And then anything over the highs, you get in, and your stop is the second candle usually. But usually the second candle here is somewhere around here, 25.60, 25.70, somewhere around there, and then you go ahead and get in. So it wasn't really textbook, but I adjusted for that, and I put my stop down here at the 25.50. So the next trade I took was MU. MU was also on the gappers list this morning. It had a decent daily as well. I had a level down here at 54. What is it, 54.30? But it had clearly is way above that, and we had a pretty big window. Yeah, we had a pretty large window for it to go up. So right here, I took it on the 1 minute. As you guys can see, if you guys know, or if you guys have been watching my videos before, you guys know what a bull flag is. A bull flag is, this is the pull, a pull back to the moving average. Next candle make a new high is your entry. I went ahead and got in 1,000 shares long at 55.95, a little early, right at, what is it, 9.35? Right at 9.35 here. And with my stop right here at 55.84. So I was risking about $100, $110 or so. And 1,000 shares, as you can see, it went straight back up. My target was going to be near high a day. I got out 50 or 56.25. I took 800 shares off, and then as it was coming back down, I went ahead and took the rest out. So it stopped me out right at 55.96 with the rest of the 200 shares. Now I ended up making, I believe it was 200 and say probably 230, 240 or something like that. I'm not even really quite sure what it was, but I had made, I believe I'd made a little bit more than what I'd lost initially on Boot. So ORB on Boot, bull flag on MU. and then I went back to Boot. Boot had such a good daily chart. So let me show you guys what I mean by that. So Boot had such a good daily chart that I didn't want to just let it go. I talked about this yesterday, and I posted it on the Facebook group for you guys. So Boot had gapped up here. I knew that it was going to open up above 24, and the 52-week high was somewhere around the 52 mark. Now, this is the 52-week high, and if you notice, there's absolutely no resistance above, so it has the world to go. So typically with stocks like this, if you have a relatively strong market, you know, it'll make a strong move on the upside, but unfortunately today it did not do that. It got stuck at the 26-25 area, and it did not end up breaking out. So let me go back to the 1 minute. So I thought I was being a little sneaky with this, and I wanted to get in over 26.10. So if you guys will notice, pull up, it kind of sold off really bad here. And then another little pivot, and then I was going to go ahead and get in over 26.10 with a stop down here at 25.70. So 250 shares, I got filled right at 26.14. Boom, it got stuck again at the 26.25. If this thing would have broken out over 26.26, this thing would have just skyrocketed. But unfortunately, there's a large seller sitting there at 26.25, and it did not let it go through. I'm not sure if he was hidden. Must have been, because I didn't see him on the level 2. So right here, again, it got rejected. It came back down way below my stop, but did not have a hard stop again. I learned my lesson from the first one, so I just let it come back up, and I got it where I was supposed to at 25.74. So if you'll notice here, it came all the way down here to 25.50, so I would have lost a considerable amount of money, since it just hop, skipped, and jumped all the way down here. And they've taught us really well to just sit there and hold it unless it continues. So with these moves, when it just kind of jumps down, you're supposed to hold it. I know it seems very, very scary and very counterintuitive, but this is called a shakeout. It's a computer-generated shakeout, or it's a fat finger mistake. Somebody that wanted to sell shares, and instead of selling 1,000, maybe they ended up selling 10,000 shares. Maybe they put an extra zero, and it just comes down really fast and ends up filling the whole order, and it shakes out people. So initially, this is just it's meant to shake you out if it's computer generated. If it's a fat finger, it was just a mistake. So I went ahead and held it, and as it was coming back up, I got out at 25.74. With both of them, it looks like I should have actually ended up holding them a little bit longer, because they ended up both coming back near my entry, or at least a little bit higher. The first one came back up to my entry and above, and this one came up above 26. So I held it. I should have held it a little bit longer, perhaps, or maybe at least a minute or two to be able to get out on it. But let's see here. So I got filled then, and I got out at 25.48. Okay, actually, never mind. I didn't end up holding it. I got out here at 25.74. Yep, so I actually ended up getting out here. I could see this downtrend very clearly. You could just see that it was starting to come down, and I chose to go ahead and get out. Ended up losing a total on Boot of $294, so almost $300 on Boot. So I took 2 trades on it, one with double size and one with normal size. Ended up losing on both, so done trading Boot. Then I took another trade on MU, so I actually ended up losing on this one, unfortunately. So right here, right at 10:06. I would have taken it on the 5 minute. Wrong day. 10:05, 10:06 right here. Let's see. Alright, so 10:06. 10:06. Alright, right here. Okay. So if you guys will notice, this thing has a very, very strong support down here at 55.60. It bounced, 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 came down here. It sold off really quickly, and it got bought up. And then again, it came back up, bounced, bounced, bounced. And so it has a very, very strong support at 55.60. Now, let's see. I think I doubled size on this. So I went long right at 10.06 at 55.92. I was expecting it to break over 56 here in this area. So right and probably in here. I think I was taking this flag really is what it was. So it came back up and over VWAP. It came down, bounced off the 9, and it started trending up. So I went ahead and got in right at 10.06 right here in this candle. And 55.92 I got filled because I knew 250 shares. I knew that my stop was going to be all the way down at 50. It was 55.60. So I felt very comfortable about letting it play out that much. But if you notice, right at 56, it came back up. Very next candle, it came up. Actually, no, it was the same candle. It came up and then it got rejected. Then it started going sideways. Then it cracked. So then at that point, I started getting a little nervous. And let's see here. I believe as it came back up and over. Nope. I actually ended up getting more shares at 10.08. That was probably a mistake right here. 55.95. As it came back down, my stop was down here at the 55.59 point. And I saw this kind of trending lower. As you can tell, I was wrong. So after it cracked, it came down and bounced off 55.96. I said, okay, well, it's making a lower high. Let me go ahead and get out of this thing. So like a fool, I went ahead and got out. With a smaller loss, I got out at 55.75, and then I took the rest off at 55.69. So I didn't take a complete loss on this. I ended up losing, or actually, maybe $100, 120, something like that. And let's see here. Now I still had on watch over this 56 mark, 56.01, I believe. So if you'll notice, we'll actually switch over to the 5-minute. So it's up. It's starting to consolidate sideways over 56, and anything over 56.01 was fair game for me. So I got in long at 56.01 right at 10:30, so probably right in here in this candle. So right here, 56.01, 250 shares like I originally was supposed to do. And then unfortunately I ended up selling at support, which is a big no-no. I will admit that. That was not a smart move. Probably should have kept with it. The market was headed higher. And yeah, just got shaken out. I was trying to minimize my loss really at that point. So, but I still had faith in it. The market was still headed up. So I went ahead and got long properly. 250 shares, stop at 55.60. And right here in this area, I started getting a little nervous. So the market actually started coming down. So 11:20 probably. No, probably a little bit earlier than that. So probably right before 11. Yeah, so down here near 11, you can see that the market was actually starting to go near VWAP, and it still had a little bit lower to go to fill the gap for the day. So I was like, oh, I don't know. MU usually likes to trend with the market. Although it does have its own catalyst for today, I was just not feeling comfortable with it. So I got out at, let's see here, got filled at 56.01. I actually ended up getting out of MU at 56.17. Now, shortly after that, you can see that MU, the volume actually started coming in. It hit my target of 56.40, came up to 56.60, and now it's just kind of consolidating again. So if I would have just stuck with it, I would have hit my target, would have had my $100. I think I ended up making $40 on that last trade on MU, and that ended up putting me back up $165 on that. So can't really complain too much with that. I probably should have had a better exit strategy than really selling at support on the SPY, because if you're selling at support on the SPY and all it's going to do is bounce and come right back up, then that's definitely not what you want to do. You want to be able to sell at resistance and buy at support. So you don't want to sell at support during the time that the market could come back and turn around. So that's what ended up happening. Unfortunately, I didn't really play it that well. And then let's see here. I had one more trade on MMM. So MMM, it got downgraded this morning, and it had a very, very nice consolidation. It's a downsending pennant, whatever you guys want to call it, descending triangle, blah, blah, blah. Either way, same thing. So you'll notice right in here. So right here is when I noticed it. You can draw the trend line. It's going straight down. It bounced right here at the whole number of $200. I wanted to go ahead and get in short. 300 shares. I was going to risk it till about the 9. I was thinking 50 cents, but I was like, it's a very slow mover, so if it cracks, it should keep going forward. So I went ahead and got 300 shares, and I got a horrible fill. Now, again, I should have anticipated this thing at $200.01, 202 cents or something like that, because there weren't really a lot of buyers sitting at $200. So I should have anticipated this. Unfortunately, I got filled all the way at $199.83. So that is 17 cents lower. That's way too much. I was basically like $55, $60 that I just wasted just by getting filled at such a crappy price. I really should have done better on this with this candle, but it flushed and it went. And I said, screw it, I'm getting in. So I got filled right at 10:34. Right here in this candle. Now, let's see here. My target was $199.33, but if you notice, it came down to the 50. I believe it was here. It came down to the 50 and it bounced and got bought up. I'm like, okay, well, I had to sit through this pullback right here, retested the 200 mark. I was like, okay. It came all the way down to $199.54 on that flush. Let's see here. I waited, and I got filled right at $199.45. So with that flush, I wanted to go ahead and take some off. It was 3/4 basically of the trade. If I was a little bit more patient, if you notice, it actually ended up coming back my way. But with the market actually headed up, and it's still, as you can see, it's headed up, I just didn't really feel very comfortable with such a big company, because MMM is it's a large cap, and it is within the S&P 500 and is a major company that loves to trend with the market. So if the market's either going sideways or it's going up, that's going to cancel out the way that MMM you're trying to play it, usually. But since the market's really not that strong, it just kind of kept going on its downtrend, and it's all the way down here. What is it at? It hit 199.05. So I could have gotten 2 or 3 to 1 out of this. But I did not play that correctly either. So today, didn't really play a lot of these plays like I wanted to or like I would have liked to, but you can't win every single day and expect to be the best. So that was the last trade I took on MMM. Got out it in 199.45 and the rest at 199.49. So ended up down $17 for today. Really not that much. It's not that big of a deal. It's just I'm glad that it's not a big loss, and I was able to minimize the losses from earlier. I think I was down almost 180-ish or so. My max loss for the day usually is about $300, so I can definitely deal with $17. It's not a big deal. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure that you guys subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if anything on here helps you, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you have not joined us yet on their Facebook group, make sure to do that. The link will be down in the description below, where I post my watch list for you guys every single day. Lastly, if you guys are curious on how I learn how to trade, I provided you guys with the discount code in the description. It comes with one-on-one mentoring, classes, and buying power, so make sure to take advantage of that. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.